The Valley View Bridge project is a large project to rehab two existing bridges on the outer belt loop of 480 in the greater Cleveland area. We built a bridge in the center to detour traffic as we rehabbed each of the bridges. It was a 6-year project, and we reached our completion last fall.
The main reason for the bridge really was to manage traffic while we rehabilitated the existing structure. So once the new center bridge was built, we moved the eastbound traffic onto the center bridge, redecked the eastbound bridge. Once that was done, we moved traffic back, and then we put the westbound traffic onto the center bridge and redecked that one. This route carries 180,000 vehicles per day, and when ODOT initially looked at the redecking, they looked at some queues, and if they were to take any lanes of traffic, the queuing in the eastbound direction was up to like 8 miles, and in the westbound direction it was around 50 miles long. So they quickly looked at a way to rehabilitate the existing structures without taking any lanes of traffic, and that's how we got to the project that we built.
As part of the design team, our job during the pursuit and bidding of the project is to work on innovations that improve the project in terms of safety, schedule, cost, etc. One of the aspects was developing alternative technical concepts. Quite often when structural steel is put in place, you'll see big cranes swinging pieces around, and that just wasn't feasible at this site because of the bridges being more or less 100 feet apart. So there's this narrow window across the Cuyahoga Valley floor that it really wasn't practical for cranes to operate in that area. So instead of using cranes in that way, we essentially used the existing bridges as part of the machinery to get the new steel in place. Back in the 60s, those bridges weren't designed for that purpose, but we recognized that because there was a girder on the edge of the existing structures right at the median, that girder could be used essentially as a running rail for a gantry system that spanned across that median. And by doing that, and then not using one gantry, but actually using 3, and taking 300-foot long pieces of steel one at a time, that load could be spread out and safely applied to the existing structures. A lot of time and care was spent analyzing those existing structures. Remember, they're not only carrying these construction loads, they're carrying the driving public at the same time.
Since we've opened the center bridge and all 3 bridges are functional, we've eliminated a lot of traffic congestion, morning and evening rush. We have 3 structures that won't need major rehab for the foreseeable future. It's definitely an improvement to Ohio's infrastructure in general and to just the daily driver.
It's fantastic to see the project substantially complete, be able to drive out on it, see the new piers. Several years ago, we just envisioned these things in our mind, drew schematics on paper, but to see it actually built and put into service is tremendous.